This is why I started my spiritual business. I wanted to be here and be present with you today and to share with you, because I'm in the middle of a visibility challenge, and I really had never imagined that I would take part in a visibility challenge. I thought that visibility challenges were for people who were desperate to sell things and who maybe weren't showing up at all online. I realized within me that for a long time I'd been online and been visible, and yet I hadn't really the confidence part. I come across as being very confident, and yet within me there's something that tends to hold me back from showing up or being here and being present in a really relaxed and authentic way. And I know that might feel, or that might seem kind of a little bit contraindicated because I'm here and I'm present. And yet within me, I don't always feel that confident. And so I decided last week to say yes to taking part in a visibility challenge that is run by this amazing woman. Her name is Helen Walker. I have put her post up here in the group, in the Facebook group. And the challenge is letting me get really clear on why I want to be online, because I've never really looked at these questions before. Why I want to be online, and what I really, really, really am saying, and why I'm saying it. And it's been the most amazing 3 days. I'm in day 3 right now, and I've unearthed some limiting beliefs, or let's just call them beliefs. I'm not even going to call them limiting now. I've unearthed some beliefs that I've done work around these beliefs before in the past, and through an exercise that Helen had given a group of us, or all of us this morning on the group, I realized that I'm still holding energy around a few beliefs that I thought I'd dissolved and said goodbye to, and I haven't, not fully. They're still here. And I want to share one of these with you, or a couple of these with you, because I want to inspire you to look again at the beliefs that you have, where you may feel for your ministering, your coaching business, your healing business, your whatever it is that you're bringing forwards to life. If you're not feeling fully confident or comfortable, or you're feeling that you clam up, or that you haven't got the maybe the words to say what you really want to say, and sometimes it feels forced, that there may be and there will be some fears and beliefs around this that maybe still want to be dissolved. And we have this opportunity always, constantly, to work on ourselves and look at ourselves and look at our inner world. If we're not looking at our inner world, then you know me, and that's what I'm all about. And beliefs are a part of this. And knowing that God is here, and that as we put our knowing of this faith that we have in the divine, that we can get through anything because God is supporting us. And so on a mental level, the beliefs are holding us back. And we get to choose if we want to continually do this work to dissolve these old ideas that no longer support. Because as you move on, and as you expand within yourself and your consciousness, and as you reach those other places of knowing within yourself, you will be reminded again, hey, you know, this belief is here. Let's deal with it again from another perspective. And that's exactly what's happening for me right now. And so I wanted to share this with you because I had written it out. I'm going to just, here's my visibility my visibility workbook, which I did actually go and get printed out because I haven't got a printer. So I went and got it printed out because I thought this is really going to help me because there's a lot of written work to do in here. And I'm going to be really honest here and just read it out because I sat with this a couple of hours ago. Old Story, it's called. What is the old story? And maybe this is something that can help you or assist you to look again at the story. And there's no good or bad. There's no judgment in this or right or wrong. It simply is. And I'm inviting you to look at the story that you have as well, because you may find some things and some threads, some fragments of pieces of things in your story that you realize, okay, I can do some more work around this right now. And isn't it amazing how when we're in the busyness of our lives, we're not always willing or prepared or open or receptive to go back, to look again and to do the work. So I'm offering this opportunity for me. And if you'd like to do this, it would be amazing. For me, I'm still carrying those threads within me of feeling that I can't be spiritual, or I can't be a spiritual teacher and prosper fully, that it's not possible for me to do that without kind of, it's almost as if I have this belief that if I prosper, that won't be spiritual. Let's put it that way. Now, my conscious mind knows that, of course, that is not true. Of course, that is God, the divine, this infinite, limitless expression that wants each and every one of us and everything to prosper so fully as life in all ways. I know this, and I say this, and I claim this. However, there is a thread, there are threads in my subconscious that are not quite on board with this. So we may know it, we may be repeating it, and we may even have clients that where we're saying, you know, this is the truth. And yet if we're still holding on to these fragments within the subconscious, they will be running the show. They will be running the story. So when I was younger, I did a project at school, and I was probably about 8 or 9, and I put so much love and care into this project. And the project was about North American indigenous Indians. That was the project. That's what it was about. And I remember I just loved it because I had these old books, and my mom took me to the library and I collected this information. I had a good old fashioned scrapbook, and I made this project, and it just felt so beautiful, and I colored it, all these pictures in, and it was really creative, and I loved it. And I remember one day that I showed my project once I finished it to my father, and he was very encouraging of my project. He loved it. And at the end of it, of showing him and him looking through the scrapbook, he said, "And you've got some spelling mistakes, and I think you need to go away and redo the whole thing." And that really knocked my confidence. He was coming from a place of love, and that he wanted it to be perfect, whatever that means. And for me, I took it as, well, this isn't good enough, and it will never be good enough. And how can I show this piece of work to my teacher? I'll have to redo the whole thing again. And so I wrote out all this piece that I'd stuck in to the scrapbook. I rewrote the whole thing, and I didn't realize that I was carrying that as a, but I was. And at points in my life, I can recall where I've done pieces of work and my mind has gone back to, well, this isn't going to be good enough. This isn't going to be good enough, and it's not going to be presentable enough. And it's a really good thing, because actually it really inspires me now to be a perfectionist, because I have done healing around this. and forgiveness. And yet, when the exercise came up today with Helen, it came back to me. It came flooding back to me. And I related it to now on the magazine and the work that I'm doing with the magazine constantly as an editor and formatting this amazing body of work, and that I am a perfectionist with it, and that I do have spelling mistakes in there, and I am making it better and better, and not to give myself a hard time on that. And also the other piece of that is the feeling that I may not be perfect enough to show up online. And this is an internal thing. It's not about how I look. It's not about really how I'm showing up. It's about how I'm feeling inside from that place of real confidence. And so I'm inviting you, if you're here and you're watching and you're interested in this, to really look at the fears, to look at those threads of fears of what may be holding you back or stopping you or keeping you in this place of kind of house divided, if we like. And we know that the universal law, the creative law, if we are in that conflict, that inner place of being in a house divided, that the law will not know what we really want. And so if we haven't resolved these things within us, if we haven't dissolved the beliefs, we're still being held in this kind of vacuum. And the divine won't know what we really truly want, because we have to believe it to receive it. And so if we're believing it in the carnal mind, in the conscious mind, and yet within the subconscious, we haven't surrendered those thoughts and those feelings over to knowing the truth, the light, the love, then there's still going to be a disparity, and we're not going to be able to manifest or to bring through or to experience the fullness of the prosperity for our own lives. And so this is a work in progress for each of us. At whatever stage or state we're at, there's always opportunity to look within and do this work, because we are wanting to transform, and that transformation must come from within. If it's coming from without, we're kind of building a house on not solid ground, on unsolid ground. And so the foundations must be firm, and those foundations are our inner foundations. Now, for many, many years, I've known those foundations to be how I think, how I feel, my emotion, how I'm behaving, my attitude, the positive outlook that I have, and shifting the perception and seeing God in, as, and through everything. And more recently, I'm really, really reminded at the power of the body. And I'm not only meaning from a cellular level, I'm talking about on a quantum level, and from an electron and photon level, and from a level of electromagnetism and life force and prana and chi and the breath, and beyond the breath, the divine as the breath, and the flow of cerebral fluid that we have within us, that is that kind of capsule that's transporting light up and down the spine, which does affect the chakras, and that does open us up to another awakening. And so on every level, our body knows. And of course, the temple, the mind, is so important, because the pineal and the pituitary and the thalamus and everything that's here, the cranium, everything inside the skull and around it, is absolutely set up as a microcosm of the universe. And so when we get that there's something absolutely incredibly dynamic happening, that we are not disconnected from, that we're not separate from, that as above, so below, as within, so without, when we truly understand this and we use our own selves to transform our lives, then the beliefs can fall away, can dissolve more easily, because we see the light of who we are. And I suppose that maybe, well, not maybe, that's why this is happening for me right now on a deeper level, because there was something in me as I've been really engaging in the circle of light retreats that I've been taking part in for myself. I've been really opening up to this piece about visibility and me and feeling confident and comfortable and showing up really in my truth, because I want to share this circle of light retreat and the exercises around it and the program that I have with I want to share this with you. And yet something has been holding me back. And I've been really talking about the magazine for a year and really promoting it. And really, I will never stop doing that. It's in my, it's here for good, this magazine, for as long as it wants to be here. I am the kind of the person bringing it through. And yet there's something else that's really coming through me right now, which is so aligned with and is about the circle of light and this super glow process that I'm creating. And that's from the research that I'm doing. It's from the work that I'm doing in another doctorate with Dr. Missy. And it's inspiring me to open up again and to share in a deeper way the real power of who we are, who we be, and how we can access this power from within. Beliefs are a major part of this, of course, and the divine is all of it. And our bodies are so powerful and so important. And how do we package this and bring this together, this knowing together, as we bring our spiritual mission-based movements and businesses forwards for our lives? We have to be the clear channel. We have to be willing to look at our lives under the microscope again and again and again and again, so that we can be receptive, so that we can open up and then bring towards us the people, the opportunities, the situations we can draw in to the level, to the degree that we are at. Now, if there's something hindering us or stopping us from being fully visible, and by that I don't only mean turning on the camera and going live. I mean being fully, authentically, powerfully present as like to the core of who we be, in that, at that degree of authenticity. If we're holding back, then we're not receiving the fullness, and we will not be transmitting the fullness of who we are to others. And for a long time, I have felt that as me, that I'm holding back somewhere. And being on this visibility sprint for this week, I have made the decision to be really real here and to share with you about what I'm going through with this. Because I think it's my way of saying, you know, there's work to be done. And I want to share with you where I'm at. Because as much as I'm studying and growing and expanding and evolving, I'm also experiencing my own realizations of the beliefs and the thoughts and the processes and the atmosphere, if you like, that keeps me in a place of not always feeling that I'm being really real, really authentic. And so how do I feel about visibility? And maybe I'll just share a few questions with you. How do you feel about visibility? And how do you feel about sharing the services and the products and, you know, the offerings that you have? How do you feel about talking about these things with people? I'm going to just read out a few possibilities here that might align, or they may not. As you can see, I've put ticks, quite a few ticks on mine. So do you feel that you're not good enough? I'll read some through. I'm not good enough. I'm not an expert. I haven't ticked all of these. I'm reading from this list. What if I fail? What if I forget what I'm saying? as I'm showing up on video? What will people think? Am I scared to be seen? Am I scared to be visible? Does it look like I'm showing off and saying, oh, look at me, look at who I am? You know, does that feel inauthentic? People won't warm to you. People won't warm to me. Do you feel that you were not good enough with tech, or that you don't know what to talk about if you're live, or that maybe you bore people, or maybe if you're selling or offering your things for people to buy or purchase, that they won't like what you have, or that you haven't got enough experience? These are just a few of these. There's a big long list here, and there are 3 pages of it. And I wanted to share this because I've ticked quite a few of them. And it's really letting me see that this work is eternal, and there's always something to be doing. And there's always something that we have a choice, that we can open up to really getting to the heart and getting to the core of where we feel blocked. Because in the mind of the divine, there is no block. There's no blockage. Let's just get that clear. There are messages that we've held on to for many, many years and believe those to be the truth of our paradigm. And when we start to dissolve those messages and to question them, even to question them, then what we're doing is we're beginning to realize that there are other possibilities. And when we do that, we then take the energy or the impact out of those messages that may have held us for many, many, many years in a system of belief that then stops us from going. It'll get us so far, and then we'll want to go further, and we can't because we're held back. The opportunities will come, and we'll find a way to say, no, that's not for me right now. And it may be because of one of those reasons, or a few of those reasons that I've read out. And it may be not. It may be something completely different. And the work is to continually dissolve, continually get back to that knowing of the divine presence, of the divine love, of the infinite possibilities that are here, and to releasing ourselves from the chains of those ideas that we have held on to for often many years. I was 60 last week, and it's a good time for me to really reassess, reevaluate. Well, where am I with all this? Am I still living from my some of those beliefs, a lot of those beliefs of when I was a child, when I was 14, when I was 20? And yes, of course I am. It would be amazing for me to say I've released them all, I've dissolved them all. And yet I know I haven't, because I look at my life and I can see there are areas that I can improve, I can make better, I can break free from the limitations of those beliefs. And that's what I'm doing. And I really inspire you and encourage you to do the same. And so the process that I'm creating, I think you can see behind me this here. I'm not going to go through all of this here. This here is, it's like, that's where I'm at right now with what is going on in my heart and in my own mind as to how I can bring this process through for you. And I'm excited about it. And it's something that I will be offering, and I can offer it because I'm a working progress experiment with it. And it's really, really exciting. And if you want to know more about that, you can message me here with Super Glow, and we can connect, and I can share more with you about this process, because it's a process that will allow allow us to see that we can fully let God into our lives and fully create our mission-based movements and businesses that are here to really serve in a great way and in a powerful way. And I see a lot of programs and processes online that are so beautiful and so powerful. And for me, I feel they go so far. And that's nothing against those programs. There are many programs. There's so many programs, and each of them are very different. For me, the important or the vital piece is, where is the divine in all of this? And that is why it's Divine CEO, why the body of my work is called Divine CEO. And 2 years ago, I created an amazing program called Divine CEO. It's in this cupboard here behind me. I'm not going to get it out now. It's in a big file. Maybe next time I will. And I knew that it was missing a piece. It's an amazing program. And I knew something in me just knew that this program wasn't ready. It wasn't complete. There were pieces in this program that I hadn't yet got clear with, and it didn't feel any different to a lot of programs or processes that are already available. And so I have kept this in the cupboard behind me for 2 years. There was a time when I had it all out on the floor and I took an image of it and put it on Facebook. And people were commenting, yes, it's amazing. Okay, let's get this program. And something stopped me from coming forwards with it. And then I wasn't well last year, and I had this turnaround where the magazine has come through, and this is Divine CEO. And this program is still here. And this is now here. And this is now here. And this is the piece that is now to be interwoven with the Divine CEO process that's in the cupboard. And I'm feeling very ready to share this with you now, because I've kept it within me for a while, and I feel ready to bring this forwards, to offer it and to say, hey, there is another way. We can bring this all together. So we're not scattered doing a business program over here and a leadership program over here and a tech program over here. And then, oh yes, what about spirituality and consciousness? Okay, I'll just add that on a little bit somewhere. And really, that's not what this is about, because that piece, the divine piece, is the main piece. It is the foundational piece. It is the piece that is going to be the game changer for everything that we do. And that's what this is. And so I am excited with this Divine CEO Super Glow experience, because it is an experience. And so come back to this visibility piece for yourself today. Ask yourself these questions. Tune in to where you may be feeling that you have a really deep desire to show up, to be more visible. And that doesn't only mean online here. It might mean with your partner, with your parents, with your children, with yourself, with the divine, to being more fully present, to speaking your truth and saying what you really, really feel to be true for you, rather than holding back and working from that template of those old or those beliefs or those ideas or that paradigm that is no longer supporting you fully on your journey of exploration and expansion. because we do get to that place, it's that uncomfortable place that when the caterpillar is ready to come through as the butterfly. It's a place of discomfort. It's not a place of ease. And when we're in that place, we know that there is more work. It's like there's that final oomph. Oh, got to do it, to break free and break through of those ways of being that no longer serve, because there's something on the other side of this that is so powerful and so beautiful that wants to be experienced. And when we do the work within, when we go back to God, and we face ourselves and we see the infinite, the light, and we center as this light, we then move through this process in a swifter, easier, and more aligned way. Wow, this visibility challenge, it's great. I'm loving it. You can, let me just get that right. And it is so interesting, isn't it, that when we say yes to doing something different, something that we think is just going to help us getting the camera ready or getting the mic ready or being online or whatever, and it brings up a lot of other things, then we know we're kind of in the right place and really ready to unearth again and again and again. And it's a constant process. The piece of it is being held, being safe, knowing that who we're with in community, that we feel that synergy with that person, with the other people, with ourselves, with what's on offer. And that's definitely how I'm feeling with Helen Walker. So I'm very grateful to her for this opportunity right now. I wanted to share this with you, real and raw. That's where I am right now. And if you have is there anybody here on the call? Winnie, I think Winnie, oh no, Winnie's not here, but Winnie, okay, no one here online. Anyway, that's okay, because I know that for some of you, you come along a little bit later and leave your messages. So the other piece I wanted to share very quickly before I leave here is that from the post that I wrote yesterday, I mean, it's all so interwoven. When I said at the end, and I'm going to read this here, as I swim in the sea of infinite potential of possibilities, I open my heart so boldly as love and appreciation for everything. I am so grateful for this space where sharing is so powerful, and for our individual and collective voice to bring this circle of light forwards for our lives and each other. Wherever you are, whatever you may be realizing, experiencing at this time, please know that you are loved, and that even in the midst of seeming breakdown, there's a love that loves you immensely. Your message, your vision, your dream, these are all seeded in you for a divine reason, and your yes is being awaited right now. I wanted to read that piece out to remind you, to remind us that when we have a vision for our lives, when we have a vision for others too, we care, we care about humanity, we're here to serve, that vision must be, we must be clear for that to come through. And so being here and being present is one piece of this. And it's that showing up for ourselves that again and again is where we're going to be shown the way more clearly. As we show up, we're shown the way more clearly, more clearly. That is it. That's what's come through for today. So peace and love and blessings and shalom and salam and namaste for you, knowing that this is a blessed, blessed day and a blessed time. stay in touch here and let me know if you are interested in knowing more about the Super Glow, the Divine CEO Super Glow experience. And I would love to share more about that with you. You can message me here or just write it into the chat here on the page. Big, big blessings. Until next time.